This video was brought to you by the TLDR store. Our Poland with Shoes pin badge is back in stock, so you can pick up that or any other one of our pins, and we even have every other EU country. You can get 10% off everything by using code POLAND. The link is in the description. It's pretty safe to say that the EU has been going through a rough time recently. The coronavirus, the loss of one of its leading lights, and more recently, an energy crisis. All things we've discussed on this channel before, but things are about to get a lot more complicated with one member state in particular, who's firmly on a collision course with the bloc as a whole, Poland. So let's take a quick look at what's happened in Poland, and how just a single ruling could have truly enormous consequences right now. To properly explain the current situation, we need to roll back the clock a little to earlier this year. In March, after a series of arguments over Polish judicial reform, Poland's Prime Minister asked the Constitutional Tribunal to make an important ruling and decide, once and for all, who has supremacy, EU law or Poland's constitution. Dutifully, the tribunal began considering the matter in July, all while further legal battles were brewing with the EU on media freedom and Poland's LGBT-free zones. Anyway, fast forward a few months to last Thursday, when the tribunal came to its final ruling, that Poland's national constitution does indeed have primacy over EU law. Specifically, the tribunal ruled that 4 key articles of the EU's main treaty, the Treaty on European Union, were incompatible with Poland's constitution, which should take precedence. Those being Article 1, Article 2, Article 4.3, and Article 19. While a disagreement about 3 articles and a sub-article might not sound like much, it is for 2 reasons: the precedent it sets and the actual contents of the articles in question. That's because the thing that sets the European Union apart from other trading blocs is the EU and the European Court of Justice have the power to make rulings and decisions that are binding on each and every member state. Remove that and, well, you don't have very much left. If we go ahead and take a look at the actual substance of the articles in question, the picture doesn't look any better. Article 1 actually establishes the European Union. Article 2 sets out that the Union is founded on the values of respect for human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. Article 4.3 states that the Union and member states shall, in full mutual respect, assist each other in carrying out tasks which flow from the treaties. And Article 19, that the courts of justice of the European Union shall ensure that in the interpretation and application of the treaties, the law is observed. In other words, in one fell swoop, the tribunal appears to be questioning the legal basis for the very establishment of the EU, the rule of law, mutual respect and support, as well as the European Court of Justice. Rather, the tribunal's argument is that the articles allow the EU to act beyond the limits of the competencies transferred by the Republic of Poland in the treaties, and give the power for the European Court of Justice to illegally override Poland's constitution. The European Commission, in a statement immediately after the tribunal's ruling, didn't mince its words, stating, "The Commission will not hesitate to make use of its powers under the treaties to safeguard the uniform application and integrity of Union law. The European Union is a community of values and of law, which must be upheld in all member states." Arriving for a meeting of EU ministers in Luxembourg, the country's foreign affairs minister said that we have to state clearly that this government in Poland is playing with fire. Primacy of European law is essential for the integration of Europe. If this principle is broken, Europe as we know it, and it has been built with the Rome treaties, will cease to exist. France's European Affairs Minister went even further, stating that the ruling was an attack on the European Union and that there is now a de facto risk of an exit from the European Union. Is that actually true, however? Well, no, not really. While there is a mechanism in EU treaties for a member state to leave of its own accord, Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, there's no mechanism by which a member state can be forced out. And, well, Poland doesn't want to leave. The most recent set of Eurobarometer surveys asked in general, does the EU conjure up for you a very positive, fairly positive, neutral, fairly negative, or very negative image? 53% of polls chose very or fairly positive, with just 8% choosing fairly or very negative. In other polls, asking polls directly whether they want to support membership of the EU, 88% said they supported continued membership. Even the ruling Law and Justice Party, who brought this challenge in the first place, are not advocating for a departure from the EU. The Polish PM took to Facebook to reaffirm that we want a community of respect and not a grouping of those who are equal and more equal. This is our community, our union. This is the kind of union we want and the kind of union we will create. So if an exit is all but off the cards, then what can the EU actually do? Well, it all comes down to money. The EU's yet to formally sign off on Poland's coronavirus recovery plan, meaning that some 58 billion euros remains up in the air. Added to that, the Commission may launch infringement procedures against Poland, which, if referred to the Court of Justice, may result in daily fines being levied, meaning that ultimately it's going to come down to a game of who blinks first, Poland or the EU. And given that the EU doesn't have much to gain and a lot to lose by changing its current position, I know who my money's on. But what do you think? Who should have primacy? A country's constitution or EU laws? And are the Law and Justice Party just playing political games, or is there something deeper happening? As always, be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said at the start, you can get 10% off everything in the TLDR store if you use code POLAND. That includes our book, as well as stickers, magnets and pins, including over 50 different countries with shoes pin badges, with that now including Poland as well. We'd really appreciate your support. It's linked down below. Thank you so much. But also be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified every time we release a new video. Special thanks to our Patreon backers who make videos like this one possible. And if you want to see your name at the end of videos, then you too can back us on Patreon. The link to that is in the description.